Stay tuned, McWarriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, well, we had a pretty interesting battle to fight through. My champion got to basically show off, take names, kick butt, and we had the Screamer come back, which was really cool. It deals 187 on a jump, which is pretty neat. And then I didn't actually think to use the Berserker ability on Showboat because she has it, and that would have been even cooler. But hey, today's another opportunity, and with that in mind, decapitation. We've had confirmation from several sources that the leader of an insurgent cell, backed by the Federated Sons, is in the open. This is a rare opportunity to take out one of the primary enemies of the legitimate Tortugan regime in Lima. Additionally, we'll include a bonus payment if you destroy all the target's escorting units. This will be a 313 priority salvage, 385,200 Z-bills, and 4 skull difficulty. I think we can take it, but maybe not. Assassination missions tend to be really rough. They tend to have the most number of mechs aside from attack and defend. So when you run into them, you're generally running into a brick wall. Now, luckily, we are dropping into the middle of an urban biome, which is the most possible fun you can have in the game, and we dropped on top of the enemy, which we've seen how... Oh, that's a hatchet man. Okay, so we have some good meat to steal today. In fact, this may actually be a melee lance. This actually could be really, really bad. We have a Vulpes. The Vulpes is equipped with a pair of ER large lasers and a rotary AC-5, but not a risk one, so I'm not all that worried about it. If we zoom on in, the Vulpes model apparently is a Thunderbolt, so fairly solid mech, although I don't think it actually is a Thunderbolt. Oh, it's not a Hatchet Man. It's the Hatchet Man's bigger brother, the Axeman. The Axeman is a 80 tonner? It's a fairly decently sized... Wait a second, where did your axe go? Oh, no, there... Oh, of course, a Black Knight. There it is. It's a fairly decently sized mech. 65 tons, I think that says. I didn't realize we were getting shot at. But apparently we are. But yeah, it's 65 tons or so. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was... It is a heavy. Huh. Oh, yeah, and then there's the Berserker, I think. There's a trio of mechs that are basically based on the Hatchet Man. The Hatchet Man comes first, the Axeman comes after that, and like the oh god, I can't even remember the name of the third one, comes after that, and it's an assault. And basically, as you step up in the ranks of these mechs, they get better, and better. So, yeah, an Axeman would be a fantastic addition to the party, especially considering, well, we did get the Screamer back. I kind of would prefer to have an Axeman at this moment. Not because... actually, do I? Not really. Although, if I get an Axeman, as you can see, he does have an LB to X20 slug, so that would be pretty fun to have as well. Although if we're really lucky about things, we may actually run into another boomstick. I've got to wait until after this guy goes, because right now I'm not going to hit him, and I need to light him on, well, literally all the fire. So unless we can get all the fire dealt onto him, we're going to have a problem. There's also a Zhukov. It is equipped with heavy ammo 20 and a pair of LB-10s, which is pretty rough, actually. Somebody just missed an artillery shell. Oh, good job with that one. So they're already bombarding each other more than they're bombarding us, which I'm feeling pretty happy about. Not quite sure what sort of artillery we're facing. Oh, is that a Marauder? Also, I do have the Thanatos here, which I probably should have set to overload mode before I did anything, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 lances plus the supporting units. We're dealing with probably about 20 mechs. We've got an Apollo, a Rakshasa. What is the Rakshasa currently using for a model? Oh yeah, Raza told me it's a Madcat Mark II. The Rakshasa was the Inner Sphere's answer to... Hey look, it's the Marauder I've been looking to build. The Rakshasa was the Inner Sphere's answer to the Mad Cat, and basically what they did was they took a catapult and they put arms onto it because they figured that makes sense. It did not. While the mech technically does work, it's not exactly a mech that you want to place a whole heck of a lot of faith into. So, yeah. So we're going to want to steal this Marauder because I assume he's going to have some pretty sweet gear. We're also going to try and want to steal the Axeman for the most part. Maybe we'll get lucky, Tortuga will bundle it, and we'll be able to get it easily. But I'm not all that sure. Are you just going to stand still? Please tell me you're going to stand still so that I can light you on all the fire. I brought several mechs specifically to light you on all of the fire. And even if it doesn't jump, the Screamers should actually have a fairly potent punch. So I do want to keep that in mind. It does 86 or so damage, which I know, that's not a lot of damage, but we're working with a lamb here. We kind of have to limit what we're doing. I just don't want to take a whole bunch of, self-damage on that. Alright, so the system has been mostly handled. He did decide to stand still with his Axeman, so we are going to light him on all the fire this turn, and he will be out of the mech. There's also a Bandit, which is a Dervish. Okay, so I need Showboat? Yes, technically I do, but I will probably save her. Kerensky's Stick, on the other hand, I can start absolutely lighting into people. How's your armor? You're at full armor. You're at full armor, so you actually should be able to handle at least one round of shooting from Kerensky's stick here. It's possibly not ideal, but I am at the proper angle for trying to deal this sort of damage to targets. So I don't have multi-target, so we're just going to have to shut off the Gauss rifle because I don't feel like wasting it, and we're going to set our heavy MRMs to incendiaries, and we're going to light them on all the fire. Now this has just made Kerensky's stick a gigantic target, but come on, you should be able to handle this. 150, 60, perfect. That was the plan. Now the enemy gets to operate. I'm not gonna, I will, ooh, should I just follow up with a screamer? I can get into range, and I do have hand flamers. I mean, it's not the most amazing thing in the universe. It's another 30 heat, potentially, if we hit it. I think I'll actually, ooh, I do actually have to step right on top of you. I'd rather not do that. But you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to see if I can't sort of slip him into overheat rather than shove him into overheat as I would if I were attempting to use the catapult. And that way I can shut down 2 mechs this turn. Fire. 2 hits. 83 heat. What? I must have totally misread that because apparently we just did 83 heat with that hit. So that's pretty gosh darn good. I'm not interested in getting my hands on a Black Knight if I'm completely honest, so I'm just going to see if I can't get myself into the optimal side angle position, which we can at nearly optimal range, and the Racketar is just basically going to run these guns at maximum. I do want to make sure that the Black Knight disappears from my sight. I have no desire to see it anymore, and... Okay, maybe it's still here, which is a little disappointing, not gonna lie, but still, he did manage to dig through his arm and his torso, so the Black Knight's having a bit of a bad day. However, like most mechs, oh, he does not. He's even. I thought that he had a right side bias. Gee, thanks, Darius. So happy to have you on the case. It's so lovely to see the point defense. Gyro did...
Easy on the armor, buddy.
I think they crit... Yeah, I think they crit the Blackjack. Or not the Black Knight. There's a very significant difference between a Black Knight and a Blackjack. If you don't know the difference, consult your optometrist. So we're going to now come on over here, and I don't think I can force him to bail out of this turn, but what I can do is now light the Vulpes on all the fire, because you are actually in range. So switch over to SRM ammunition, switch over to Infernos on top of that. The accuracy is not going to be great, but I think I might actually be able to improve it. You might have a stealth system that I'm going to see if I can't get through. So we're going to throw a little bit of a sensor lock action going down onto the target, and the Vulpes, no, it stayed at the same point. So flyer. Oh, you have an integrated laser AMS. Well, that is a problem. We must deal with that, and soon. So the Black Knight is vulnerable, mostly because half of his torso has just proceeded to disappear. The Axeman, I do want to try and steal. I'm going to work pretty hard, actually, to try and steal this mech. Scream is a little bit vulnerable because it's just taking a whole bunch of fire. Luckily for us, all of the shots pretty much missed on that one. 1 of 15 was apparently the one that was actually going to connect. So you are... you're the Apollo. We've got a Prowler multi-terrain. We've got a Hunter. Alright, it's not that bad so far. A hybrid TBM carrier. Okay, very glad I brought the Thanatos on this one. I dropped the Lament to bring the Thanatos. I figured that if it's going to be an assassination mission, it's going to be painful, and we may as well get ready for the absolute worst possible case. And you know what? We did. Hi, Mr. Black Knight. Disappear, please. Twin Gauss rifle, medium laser follow-up. That'll be a shatter, and the target is down. Now we can continue to push on. Paradox, bring your charger forward, buddy. Should I just run into the Zhukov? That's really tempting. The Zhukov is actually a really tough target. Zhukov is also apparently an incredibly hard to hit target. Why is that? Oh, probably because the Vulpes is just a massive, gigantic beacon of all pain and irritation for me, isn't it? Right. If I tried to target you, 78s, 24s, 42s. Huh. I kind of want to give it a chance on the stomp anyway. It probably won't hit though, that's my only concern. I am hitting him on the front, which is obviously less than ideal because I'm going to have to bore through 186 armor. And I can probably make better use of the mech. Or maybe not. No, I can't. Yeah, it's gonna be this. We're gonna go for the stomp. I know I've waffled on this. Slugs to both of them. That's good. Not gonna bother with the Warlord since the chances are so low, and so we're just gonna see if we can't make this work. This will put us into cover too. That was the other sort of deciding factor. Missed with that by 30%, and the twin AC-20s. I think we missed entirely. All right, so it's kind of to be expected a little bit. I mean, not entirely expected, but. It was something we were prepared for. The champion, on the other hand, will hopefully redeem what just happened in some form or another. Can actually run to... Oh, there's a minefield. Oh. Oh, drat. Didn't want to deal with mines. I hate mines. I despise dealing with mines. But I suppose needs must, and let's see how bad that was. We ran over 2 groups of mines, which did 4 damage to us. So we're going to make sure we set our MML over to the proper number, because we want to be firing acid SRMs, and the Vulpes is my current target. We could try and steal him, but it's not a risk rack 5. I don't really care. So please die. That's a hit. And the significant 6 of the acids did manage to hit on target, and 9 of them were shot down. The target is now feeling stressed and unsteadied, as one might do after you've been shot at by God. Okay, I'm being a little bit exaggeratory about how powerful that is, but still, it is a lot of fun to use a heavy Gauss rifle. Now, the one thing I do have to keep in mind is that I do not want to be firing this risk silverable Gauss rifle as long as I'm standing right next to it. It happens to be an area of effect weapon. I don't want to bring that on. I'm going to set the AMS to overload so we have better protection. And see if we can't kill a Vulpes. We absolutely popped the Vulpes. Looks like his Rack 5 ammunition detonated, and so we've dealt with him. It's just the Zhukov, pretty much, of the things that I need to, well, not kill this round, because that's clearly not going to be happening as we cycle around back to the start. We've got an Anubis RX, so drifting off to the side. By the way, if you haven't heard, The Expanse Season 4 is out, and you need to go watch that, like, right now, because... oh, it was a decent season. Not the best, I will admit. However, it is very much a setup season. After all, when you've basically saved this solar system, well, you need to sort of reset your priorities for a little bit. Alright, we're going to target at you, I'm going to target at your face, and I'm going to see if I can get you out of your mech, because I want it and you don't deserve to have it. There he goes. Alright, lovely. Axeman dealt with. Next target, the Zhukov. Another day, another bomb. Luckily for me, he didn't actually eject, so there is that, or he didn't actually explode. So we are bombing the reinforcement unit, which is fun, and we have a lot of incoming artillery that's about to come our way, some of which we can shoot down, and now that we've got the AMS system to overload, that'll be a heck of a lot easier, but that long tom is still going to be a problem. I'm going to try and go for the capture on the long tom as well. It is much less well armored, I believe I saw, but should be something we can deal with. So Zhukov needs to die, probably going to kill the Zhukov through other means. Probably the Charger, actually. I don't want to use the Charger for that, because the Charger is a lot of firepower and fairly nimble, but it still needs to be positioned well before it actually manages to cause a lot of damage. So if we want to make sure that happens properly, we're going to have to be on the hop. So, by the way, we did start playing MechWarrior 5, so if you want to catch that, it has now replaced our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday lineup at 12 o'clock. So normally RogueTech comes out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and Monday, Wednesday, Fridays is now the new block for MechWarrior 5. But if you want to catch it early and live, swing on by Fridays at 4 o'clock is when we'll be streaming about 3 or 4 hours of MechWarrior on MechWarrior 5 every single week, and that will then be chopped up into 3 episodes that will space on the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can catch it all over again and see all the little details you missed the first time. Highly suggest you check it out, and if you haven't seen it before, well, look back. We already have 8 no, by now it's 6 episodes currently up. The first 5, I want to say, are like 3 and 4 hour episodes, but after that they've all dropped down to an hour. Alright, now that we're back, let's get the Charger underway. If the Charger wanted to shoot him standing right next to him, it would be 55s, which is not great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first Warlord, then I'm going to walk, because I can get into your back. And this is less than ideal, because I'm going to get shot at doing this. But as long as I can keep it as not a direct line of sight, I might actually be able to kill you. So double tap. Okay, I don't think we hit him with both. No, we most certainly did. Unfortunately, it hit him. We bracketed him. You see, the arms of the Charger are just a little bit too wide in order to easily and effectively, you know, smash things properly and shoot into the back, as we kind of had been hoping for. What's your weak side? That's your left, right? No, it's your right. Okay, I can work with that. I'll swing back over here with the champion, since it is sort of my catch-all cavalry mech. And just do me a favor and don't shoot the Screamer. Okay, you hit it with a single medium laser, but that's okay, as long as you didn't hit it with the heavy Gauss rifle. The heavy Gauss rifle will just kill most things that it hits. It's 150 damage in a single shot. But a medium laser I'll deal with. Apparently you took a hit to the head. You did take a hit. Never mind, I completely take it back. Apparently you shot at my friendly in the head. So that's a little less than ideal. Alright, 17 of 18 from the AMS, which is lovely. Kerensky's stick can start moving along nice and freely. We're going to try and get it as far forward as we can while avoiding the fire at the same time. These fires, I believe, will go out in the next round, which should make the thoroughfare a little bit more easily traversed. Set our systems back onto murder, death, kill devices. Because as much as we do want to set some people on fire, it's really kind of only this Marauder. Everybody else I couldn't really care less about. Taking out this Marauder, though, is going to be extra difficult, mainly because he's now got a side torso towards me, and as we can see, he's got no armor. So it is the left torso, which is not the long tom torso, so there is that going for us. But again, heavy MRMs, even in incendiary mode, do a astonishing amount of damage, so we kind of have to be a little bit careful about it. Okay, we'll just sort of walk the Thanatos forward. It is here for one reason and one reason only, and as cool as it is to also have the Risk Silver Bullet Gauss Rifle, I just got to keep the heat under control for that mech. That is honestly the only thing I really care about. There are flames, heat, and fire along the way, but I might be able to handle that. I'm only firing 2 Gauss Rifles, it'll be fine. Because I doubt the medium laser is going to have anything useful to do. Well, maybe not. Because everybody's actually vulnerable. So that's really tempting, actually. I do think I will shoot the Bola, and I will go for the Warlord onto it, because I don't know what that ballistic is, but I want to make sure that it doesn't actually hit me. Apparently your Warlord didn't actually increase your chances any. It did take temperature under control, so I will blast away with medium lasers. Oh, that was so beautiful. Managing to double tap with those Gauss rifles, driving them right into the same location, and we've already started to get to work on the enemy. 25% of supporting Lance 2 has already been defeated. To be fair, they're 4 mechs, so 25% works out pretty quick. At least we're not fighting the clans, in which case it would be 20% of the Lance still exists. But I think we've got them on the run. That TBM carrier is probably going to be one of the next most important targets, because the hybrid Thunderbolt carriers are pretty nasty type of mech, or not mechs, but nasty vehicles. In fact, if you're a carrier of any description, 5 out of 8 times you're probably a really dangerous target. Okay, we got some incoming fire of the Gauss Wolf, but once again, here comes the Thanatos, saving the day, preventing any sort of incoming damage onto us. 13 of 15 shot right down immediately, did not even care. Don't have any good scans on the Anubis, but I do kind of want to steal it. And yes, I know it's Anubis, but the Anubis is an Expanse reference that I find to be quite amusing to myself at the moment. Gauss Wolf going to take even more fire, but again, we've got that wonderful overloaded Pirate Laser AMS. As long as it doesn't jam, we're good. Mockingbird, in the Racketar, only one of your wrecks jammed. Oh, that's beautiful. Are you going to be able to get into a line of sight? You will not, which is less than ideal. I think I'll have you run through anyway, because as long as you're not building any heat this round, you should be fine. This will unjam your one rack, and you'll be able to rock and roll the next turn. It'll be beautiful, and somebody here is gonna die. Showboat, on the other hand, has taken a really irritating hit, unfortunately, and I will jump for this one, because I do just want to sort of cover some distance, get into a little bit of cover, be on an angle that the enemy is not necessarily prepared for, so that should work, I think. They will be able to shoot me if they come down the alley, but I am going to be braced for this one. So lots of evasion, a brace going on as well. We should have this mostly under control, and I don't think that they're going to be able to inflict too much damage to me. Although I didn't think that I would inflict too much damage to him when I hit him with a single medium laser, but hey, Showboat now has a head injury. So after this, assuming another mission doesn't spawn, by the way, we didn't actually leave the planet last time. This assassination mission popped up and like, I must take it! Assassination missions are a lot of fun. Ooh, are you going to be in range of the Thanatos? I think you are. Trying to figure out which of these alliances the Thanatos' AMS range. Oh wait, it's huge, isn't it? Because it's a pirate laser AMS? Oh, yeah, that's the hunter in the back. He's not actually accomplishing anything, which is good. We don't want the enemies to actually accomplish anything properly. We want to be able to kill them all before anything can happen to us. We are once again caught up on 26, though. Do we know who has 26? Somebody in the back, I believe? Alright, Jester. Right, is the champion going to be able to get forward? Champion has a lot more fire to cross than I figured it was going to have to. So I will rush on in, and I'm probably going to start laying into somebody. Don't want to shoot the Marauder because I want to save the Marauder. The Marauder has a lot of important gear on it. Snub-nosed PPCs are not something to be ignored. The Bandit could be a good shot. The Rakshasa I kind of want to steal just because it's a Rakshasa, and that makes it cool. So you know what? I actually will blast this. Yeah, I'll blast the Apollo. Oh, we hit it! I wasn't expecting us to hit it, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that was beautiful. I was not expecting the heavy gas rifle to hit the target. Like, what was it, 51, 61%? It's good, but you know what? This run tends to have a bad habit of just not striking what I'm aiming at. Nope. He's on fire this round. My biggest worry about the champion fielding it was not necessarily the fact that it's 60 tons, because 60 tons is a fine weight class once you get into sort of like the darker, like all of the era techs that we have in RogueTech. Like we've got everything from the 3100s and beyond. So the 60 ton weight class is not necessarily a problem. My concern was the lack of arm-mounted weaponry, and that has ended up not being nearly as significant a problem as I thought it was going to be. Like I was positive that that was going to be cripplingly bad, and it just hasn't been. You're dead. How much dead is going to be a question for several people, actually. In fact, I'm going to actually do that. So I'm going to multi-target. I'm going to target the Apollo, and I'm also going to target the Bandit. And the Bandit is going to get both the Gauss rifles, whereas the Apollo is going to get all the medium lasers. Now, this might be hubris, but I think I might be able to pull it off.
Roger that.
Okay, part one. And then... oh, double tap with the Gauss rifle takes out the entire left torso. The Bandit you really don't want on the field for very long if you start like pulling up on it and getting close, because the Bandit has a whole bunch of rocket launchers and a whole bunch of heat control. Heat control is not something you want the enemy to have any part of in the battle. It becomes an essential part of your strategies, especially once you start going for capture attempts. But if the enemy has a lot of heat control, you are in trouble. Which is one of the reasons why Thunderbolt carriers are so gosh darn dangerous in this game. It's not necessarily the amount of damage that they output, because their accuracy generally isn't all that great, but it's the heat that happens when they start lobbing thermal barrack Thunderbolts towards your right. Because thermal bolts, they don't have to hit you. They splash all around, and if they do that, everybody in the radius stops being able to really sort of give off heat for the next couple of rounds. It becomes almost nightmarish and very, very painful to have to deal with. Alright, well, the Charger comes streaming out of the opening, and 73, you know what? You're getting the boomstick set to cluster mode. And who's getting the boomstick set to full power mode? Kind of want to steal you. I mean, you're a Rakshasa, so of course I want to steal you. You're cool. You're cool in many ways. Okay, I have my targets. So we're, of course, going to shoot the Bandit. We're going to shoot the TBM carrier, and the TBM carrier is getting the slug because if I can punch through it and blow it up. We haven't had much luck with cluster rounds against vehicles, so I'm just going to put a big old slug into him. Shotgun! And there he goes. Oh, is the target in the Rakshasa? Is the Rakshasa my primary? I mean, I wouldn't be super surprised. It's this cool mech. It's not a great mech. The Rakshasa was a bit of a palava. It was not a successful mech, but it's cool. I gotta think that Shade's Talus should be the Rakshasa, but the Madcat Mark II is not a bad placeholder for it. But yeah, it's very much a bad mech. It was not well thought out, not well designed, and just you don't want to do it. Trust me, you don't want to do it, buddy. Alright, I will start to rush on fort. I kind of would like to get a direct line of sight onto the Marauder right there, which is exactly what I'm going to get. 69, that's a nice chance to hit, so we'll keep with the Infernos. We'll start torching, because next round... oh wait, no, I'm not going to be able to do it next round. No, in any event, just start getting to work with the torching. Oh, he's got a lot of heat control. Oh yeah, my coolant flash. I always forget about the coolant flash. Owen's off in the corner, currently using a Jenner as a placeholder model. No, not a bad mech. The Owens is a decent scout, but it's not the sort of mech that I would personally want to put down onto the field. I feel no allegiances to the Owens, despite the fact that my first, like, real MechWarrior gameplay, aside from, you know, MechWarrior 2, which was... I didn't really play that. I was a bit too young to really understand what I was doing. But MechWarrior 3 was my first real one, and the Owens... I used the Owens a lot in multiplayer for MechWarrior 3. Mainly because you could just tank up on flamers, and because everybody would go with annihilators with Gauss rifles. I have told this story so many times. Pull all of your heat sinks out, 4 Gauss rifles, a whole ton of ammunition, and it's insanely powerful at longer ranges, and medium ranges, and shorter ranges too. However, do I not have a shot on anybody else? Great, both of my capture targets are the only thing in range. I want to kill the vehicle over there. It's all I care about. Mockingbird is going to wait. I'm going to reserve Mockingbird. I'm going to bring down the house. Or I might jump on top of the house. What is this? Is this a cool... I think this is a transformer. Which is one of the many reasons why I'm very happy I have the system into overload, because that Thanatos can just keep us protected from everything. Oh yeah. Very much... oh no, it's a coolant. Okay, never mind. Okay, I don't care much then. Now, the Rakshasa is also full armor and is a 75-ton heavy, so I'm just going to shoot all of the stuff I've got into it. I'm not going to place myself in a position to shoot through people, because the accuracy is not exactly going to be... Never mind, the accuracy is going to be amazing, and in fact, I'm going to lay down a sensor lock just to be extra sure, because I want this Rakshasa to not be happy with life. Hi. Make sure we set 2 incendiaries, because I would like to start a capture attempt. And begin the fire. 141 heat is an excellent way to go. Enemy phase 15. You are on 23. This marauder is surprisingly quick. It's a bit of a problem, actually. Finn's going to have to get up there close, and he's just going to have to hit it with all the heat control possible, because that is a huge heat bar. I don't know what he's packing, but I want to make sure that he doesn't have to use it on me. Well, aside, of course, from the... He's got 2 snub-nosed PPCs. I believe he had 2 medium lasers, and he also has a long tom, which is actually something that I plan on doing as well. My plan consists of mostly a long tom, and, well, that's about it. Although I will be very interested to see sort of what the base version of this mech was if we managed to capture it. Can I see both? No? No, just not quite. Alright, in that case, I'm going to bounce. Coming in with the Screamer Lamb. Not being able to fly all that far because we are using directional jump jets, which give me a much better death from above capability of 154. So, Fire Fists, light them up. Plus 52 heat, and that's a mech offline. So the Rakshasa is not fighting anybody at the moment. We do have the Anubis in the background, but I'm not all that concerned about it. Mockingbird. Hi, I know I said I was going to knock down the house. I kind of lied, I suppose. So you can bring down the house.
Copy that, Commander.
So target this. It has 40 health, so shut off your racks. Just give it a pair of diverse optics.
10-4.
This is the bat. And we have opened up another entrance into the square. Now maybe we're being a little bit too violent on this poor little city. I mean, I assume people do wish to return to their homes, but you know what? Well, worth it. We're keeping everybody alive. Crap, the laser MS has just critted itself. I didn't expect it, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen. I'm going to rush on over here, and I'm going to beat the ever-loving crap out of you. We're going to go back to slugs on this one, just to make sure. And, yeah, just to make sure.
Roger that.
Charger, doing his chargy thing. And stomp. Target is dead. I assume you're going to still shoot. Yeah. You misfired again.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
That's a problem. Did you break it? Because I think that's all you got. Where is he? I can barely see him through the fire. Yeah, it's dented. We're going to have to set it down to normal mode. I'm not risking it. It's too dangerous. I'm going to bring you sprinting along into the side of the Anubis. I believe it's a risk one. So it will have some really decent gear on board, but I'm still going to go for the full kill. Okay, missing the target, but that's okay. A little bit of acid onto him. He does have risk MMLs. He'll have a whole bunch of other risk gear as well, but we're just sort of putting the pressure onto him. The Martyr's on 20. Mockingbird, your Rankatar could kill it, but I don't want it to. I wish to steal it. And so you will help me rob them all. This, on the other hand, that's too close. I don't want to shoot through a friendly. Well, not a friendly, but I don't want to shoot through a capture target. I must be very careful with what I'm attempting to do. And kill it. That is just so much death right there. It's like just hold down the trigger and let them disappear. Alright, so the catapult is a little bit toasty, but if I can make it to the water, the catapult will no longer be toasty, and I do not have both my MMLs. Crap. So this is a little less than good. So I'm going to lay down the sensor lock, because I do believe sensor lock also has a negative effect on enemies. I don't remember if that's the case or not, but I don't really care. We're just going to lay it onto him and light him up. All the heat I can manage. 85 heat is not enough heat. Howl is not going to be able to finish this off. Like, this is not a thing that Howl just does, unfortunately. Enemy force is 0%. Could it be that the Long Tom is representing his entire own force? I mean, that'd be weird, but it's possible, I guess. I can see the enemy target. Unfortunately, I would have to put my back to it to somebody who has snub-nosed PPCs. And that's just not something I'm willing to do right now. I'm going to position myself for a future move, but really, it's all down to 3 mechs at this point. I may be dropping 8, but only 3 of them really matter. Oh, the amount of control that you have. You have too much heat control. Show up is 19. Where is my Oran? 18. Nightshade. What is a Nightshade? Oh, it's a VTOL. I thought it was a VTOL. I was like, wait a second. What am I looking at here? Okay, set this sucker to standard mode because I do not want to risk blowing everything up on the mech. That is kind of very important to me. If I lose that pirate laser AMS system, I'm going to be losing so much because it is the absolute Iron Dome option, and it's lovely, and I adore it. I do have an integrated laser AMS that I need to mount onto a mech. Unfortunately, that takes up an armor slot and requires you to have a support slot in the center torso, which gets a little bit dicey with finding certain mechs that can do it. One of the ones that does it is the Catapult 3. In fact, that's the mech in Apollo's game that I have with a pirate laser AMS. Okay, you're cooking, you're torching bad, and you decided not to move. Alright, the Screamer. You're just going to attack. You're going to shoot his head. You have shooting scoot. Hit him with a fire fist. Make this pilot not want to live. 71 heat. That pushes it up higher. Okay, I can take that. And I'm going to pull back a bit.
Got it.
Sort of half hide, half be in a position. We'll move up forward again should the need arise, which it will. The Marauder, I'm just going to barbecue though. The Catapult needs to get the barbecue underway. The Rakshasa can still be being fired at by Kerensky's stick, I believe, right? Yeah, your forward armor is good. I'm going to target you dead on. I wish there was a way to just reduce the damage. Aim for his head and go for the incendiaries. Try not to cause too much pain. Pilot bailed. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, I'll take it. Alright, so we still have a support lance at 50%. There's a Winston. Incoming fire onto the Gospel, which could have been much worse than it was. Or it wasn't great, but it could have been way worse. Come on, give me Finn. Finn has already gone? Oh, I didn't realize Finn had already gone. In which case, you shut down next turn and we'll finish barbecuing you after that. So we did get all the parts of the Rakshasa. I don't know if there's anything really important that I'm going to get from it, but it's a Rakshasa. So I had to give it the respect that it was due by attempting to steal the entirety of the mech. 75-ton heavy is always good. It would basically look physically like a small Madcat 2B, or just a small Madcat. But, yeah, not the most important thing in the world. I go for full MML Inferno. I'm a little irritated that it, jammed on me. Because I do not dare. There we go. Whew. I don't dare firing the... Oh god, what's it called? I don't dare to fire the heavy MRMs at it. It will not end well. It will be a death and destruction of which there will be no recovering from. Right, I can move you against multiple targets. How well armored are you? Not that well armored. I'll send you back. Yeah, I know. You're much better when you're on top of a target, but I think you'll do okay, just fine. Shut off a medium laser, shut off a medium laser. Go with the acid and the heavy. Heavy Gauss rifle taking care of the problem. Such a wonderful weapon. I almost want to put a heavy Gauss rifle on the Marauder. I really do, but I have other plans for it. Or at least, hopefully, other plans for it. Alright, start getting Howl underway, and she's not going to be able to see the target, so she's just going to walk it. I don't want to get too far away from friends, too. And I want to make sure that everything is nice and set up for this. Unless I missed another hunter off in the background, in which case I'll have to sort of rely on the champion to take care of it. But that's kind of why I have it. It's fast, it's nimble, it's aggressive, it should be fine. So we've got an Owens, the Winston, which is a tank, and a Nightshade, which is a VTOL. And we're also missing, one additional unit somewhere. So, luckily we don't have to kill him. Like, worst comes to worst, we can just leave. That is always an option when you have one of these objective-type missions, which, unlike a battle where if, the game glitches out onto who's actually on the field, things become a little bit more irritating. But on this particular mission, yeah, if worst comes to worst, it'll be somewhat irritating to have to walk all the way home, but it'll be fine. We will kick the butt, we will take the names, and victory will be ours. Although the question is going to become, am I going to be able to steal most of this Marauder or not? This Marauder would be great. So I've got Axeman that I've stolen, I've got a Rakshasa that we're about to steal, and we also are potentially going to be stealing a Marauder on this one, which I think we can do. I do think we have the capability to just light it on enough fire to not murder it, so that the pilot decides to bail out, because that'll make life just so much easier. Although what the enemy decides they want to do. Oh, you do see Kerensky's stick. I was not expecting that. Okay. I suppose that makes a lot of sense. 2 of 20 getting shot our way. Coach in the Thanatos and Mockingbird in the Rakatar. I don't think there's any targets for you back here. Oh, I saw a second icon. Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm going to bet that the target opportunity is going to be poor. But here's the deal. I'm going to shoot you a lot. And not a little, but a lot. So... not bad. I mean, it could have been better. Could have been a victory, and it wasn't. But not bad at all. Okay, I'll rush on over here. This will put me in a better position for, you know, more protection. But also, I get to shoot at you with lots of big guns. I will turn off the silver bullet Gauss rifle because I don't feel like hurting my own friends. I will also lay down a sensor lock on top of the target. Maybe I should fire the silver bullet Gauss. I mean, I'll be in the splash radius, but that might be fine.
Let's see what you got.
Did we actually hit it? Did we legitimately hit it with that Gauss rifle?
Reporting. Critical hit.
Good job. How badly exposed is he? Yeah, he's too hot for startup. He's going to be sitting there for a little while. We have him pretty much controlled. Oh, yeah, he's so vulnerable. So incredibly vulnerable. All right, Kerensky stick. Yeah, I'd like you to kill this thing without shooting any of my friends in the face, which is why I'm going to move you up front, because that way it'll be easier for you to get the shot that you need. We'll go listen kills, and I'm not going to bother with the Gauss rifle. It's a weapon system I so rarely use at this point. Mainly because I turn it off all the time just to make sure I don't have to worry about ammunition problems. Alright, the Charger. This is the last guy of that supporting lance, so I don't really care about him. I'm not going to run through the flames. There's no reason to do that. Maybe I shouldn't stand too close to it, though, because there is the potential, of course, that they try and shoot at me, miss, and blow up the Marauder, which has no armor, as you can see. Even when it has full armor, it only has 927. How much armor do you got? You've got 1523, and you're only 5 tons heavier. Although I did sort of emphasize putting a ton of armor on the Charger. I wanted to make sure that we wouldn't be caught up in a situation where we got overwhelmed. And I think I've managed to pull that off. Sprinting. Yeah, get right next to him. You're going to be utilizing your fire fists. Aim for his face. Try not to hit his torsos. And let it burn. He got the head hit, so there is that going for us. And a side torso exposed. That head is so vulnerable now. Incoming fire into the Gauss Wolf, but the Gauss Wolf can manage it. Ooh, that was less than ideal because it's God, what's the word? Swarm fire. I don't like swarms. I'm gonna have to be very, very careful when trying to dig on this guy because there is not much holding this torso on, and I don't want to lose him.
What's up, boss?
All right, Paradox in your Charger, just charge. It's kind of your job. It's what you do. It is the thing that I have designed you for. So a 400 diffusion core in a mech of this size. Oh wow, I did not realize that you had twinned LRM-15s. You're basically a catapult, except with way better close-in weapons. Oh, so you're actually pretty dangerous, all things considered. The Owen's not so much. He'll have two LRM-5s or something like that. It's not all that dangerous. And the Champion has dealt with the threat to the rear, so we can just, you know, run on forward. We'll take care of you later. Other people have been tasked with destroying you. Heat sink, get back down to nominal. Alright, the catapult. You just aim for his face. You're going to take aim at the face right there for 20% accuracy, and you're going to dig him with all the Inferno ammo, or all the Inferno SRMs you got. He had an ammunition explosion. No, not the long time ammo. I need it. I need that long time ammo. That's why I did all this. It's a bit of a problem. Just keep moving forward. We're not going to turn around. But yeah, I desperately need them not to blow up the long time ammo, because even if I don't decide to steal it, if I can get a good bundle of a whole ton of long time ammunition, I can actually start building something. Because one of the things that I'm sort of waiting on with that long time is I have no ammunition for it. I've just got the gun. Well, this would be a good opportunity to get more. Oh, drilling into that Winston beautifully with the Gauss rifles. Didn't quite manage to get a good penetration through just yet, but that will come with time. She just needs another round or so to completely start annihilating the target. But it does continue to move forward, providing the nice protection that we require. And my converter, the Rakatar, is clearly not going to be shooting an attempt to pick off the head of that mech. If it had full health and its head was at sort of that level, I might give it a shot, but I'm not willing to risk that much. It's just too dangerous. Trying to steal the mech after all. Oh, we have an avatar. Oh. Which kind of avatar? There's lots of avatars. Some of them are really good. Like most of them are really good. 2 ballistic, 2 energy. I'm going to guess that you have 2 Gauss rifles on board.
Commander?
Because that is an avatar that I quite do like. Alright, walk to his front. Make the odds of missing worse. Try and torch his head off. Shot head. Twin fire fists.
Here we go.
And that was pilot lethal. Okay, whew. We burned the head off. Okay, Marauder saved. Lovely. We do need to avoid certain area of effect weapons, obviously, because they will still deal damage to this, I believe. The reason why I believe that is because if you kill an enemy unit in a leopard landing zone, and the leopard then lands on it, it destroys the entire mech and all the parts to it. So it's kind of something you try to avoid. Okay, AMS not being nearly as effective, but mainly because we did manage to get a jam on that weapon system. So I don't want to push it too hard. Rush around the corner. Surprise! 91%. Twin slugs. Let's go for the 110 damage because we can. And double tap. Drill, baby, drill. Winston has been destroyed. The Charger has taken care of it without any trouble whatsoever. We do have to now be a little bit wary of the Avatar, because the Avatar actually could be quite dangerous to us. Twin Gauss rifles is always very dangerous to you. Gauss rifles in general are dangerous to you. The AI may not be the most brilliant out there, and that can be said for a lot of game AIs, but a Gauss rifle has enough raw damage and enough range and enough accuracy that really doesn't have to be in the hands of a genius to be a devastating weapon system. So we do have to be careful of what's going to happen to us should he actually get a Gauss rifle shot on us. It's a terrible shot on Owens, but I'm going to take it. Because if we had managed to hit it, it probably would have popped the entire Owens. Owenses are not exactly well armored on that one. So even though it was a 27% chance, we have more than enough ammunition, and there's only 2 targets left on the field. So we may as well go for the full kill on this one. I mean, after all, we're only dealing with an Owens and an Avatar, and the Avatar has a similar problem to the Bushwhacker, although slightly less vulnerable. The Bushwhacker, I believe, has less armor, but they both have inner sphere XL engines, and that is just a death sentence. You're not going to be able to perform any sort of real dangerous task if you've got an inner sphere XL engine, simply because it explodes too easy. In fact, our own Rakatar is far more vulnerable than I feel comfortable with, but the sheer volume of firepower that you can put out with a pair of Riskwack 5s is just not to be ignored. It should not be underestimated by any stretch of the imagination. It's so good. So very good. I adore it. Okay, keep on jumping. And we'll brace it up. So the maximum protection on the Screamer. I, after all, don't want it to take much damage. And we'll keep on running forward with the Rakatar, because if the Rakatar sees you, you're probably dead. And if you're not dead, you're halfway there. Even shots from the front, you just get a couple of them that manage to stack up on a single location. I mean, you're dealing 45 damage per hit. You get 3 hits on the same location, you've dealt 135 damage. And by the way, you're shooting 12 shots. So it is far, far more efficient and effective to try and go for his back. But still, even a front shot, or to go for the side, but even a side shot, a back shot is good. Oh, that's interesting. Die, please. Gone. Okay, so with any luck, his arrow 4 tag will be saved, but I'm not really holding my breath for it. First of all, I've got a lot of things now that I need to basically steal, so we're not exactly going to be hurting for trying to figure out what it is we need to buy. Okay, got a target, 50%. It is a pair. Oh, ooh, wow, no, this is not quite the one that I was thinking. This has a Hag 30. So that's a pretty significant amount of firepower right there. I'm gonna lay down a sensor lock just to sort of improve all sorts of accuracy that we can manage onto it. But that's a variant I hadn't considered, because it's got clan tech on board. Now that's not going to change the engine, but clan tech is clan tech, and that's pretty cool. We in fact also happen to use clan tech in our Gauss rifles because we've found it to be remarkably effective. Don't want to get too close. Of course, we have to remember we have a minimum range problem, where if we get too close, the Gauss rifles stop being effective. I believe the Hag has a similar problem, but I'm not sure. Missing one of the Gauss rifles is actually a pretty big deal for us, because we could have annihilated him in that shot had we managed to double up on a single side torso. Unfortunately, it was not to be, and so now we're just going to have to sort of move in on him soon. The Thanatos, can you get a shot? Can you sprint to get a shot? You can. That's the side angle. I'll take it. I mean, you are going to splash damage on my friendlies, but sensor lock? Yeah, let's just keep stacking up the sensor lock on this one. As you can see, his side torso is pretty bent up. Had we hit him with one more, 70 damage is less than the 75 that a Gauss rifle does. Oof, there goes his right arm. And there goes his engine. That was the plan, and it was stunningly well executed. Alright, so show me this salvage screen, because it's gonna be crazy. No, seriously, this salvage screen is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited. I think we've run into this Marauder before, too. So, I will be very interested to see what I can steal from this. We're a little bit low on cash. 329,610 C-bills. Good job. Mostly took very little damage. The Screamer took a hit that I was not expecting. We kind of hit them like a ton of bricks before they could really react effectively. So, not bad. Could have been better. We could get an avatar if we want. And we can get the Axeman, which I am very, very, very tempted to do. So it is a Marauder LT. Don't know specifically. Oh, Marauder Long Tom. Duh. Unfortunately, that is not being stacked up. The Rakshasa is. Ooh. So the Rakshasa is powered by a GM XL 375. Is this an Omni? I believe it is an Omni. Shoot. So I won't be able to take out that XL. I don't think it's worth it then. I think I'm going to get my first melee mech. My first real melee mech. I could pick up another Fire Fist. Heavy Armor 20 would be interesting. Hag 30, because now we're starting to get up there. We have a Hag 20, but we could move up to a Hag 30. There's the Long Tom Cannon. It did survive. The one thing I do need to look... Oh, that's a lot of X-Pulse lasers. I've been steadily building up a stockpile of X-Pulse lasers, but I need more. I always need more. All 4 of the snubs got packed together. And the Arrow 4 tag actually managed to exist. The axe off the Axeman is a lootable item, and you can actually mount these on mechs. I don't have one of these. I do have a pair of hatchets, though. But what I really care about is, did your ammunition survive? Because if it doesn't, this is going to make this fairly easy argument. But if it did, I'm going to have to make a hard choice. God, there's so much gear here. See, this is what happens when you go for maximum capture. You get all this... The Sentinel... I'm going to kick myself for doing this, aren't I? Because I know what I'm going to do. At this point, it's a formality that I'm going through. 3 tons of Long Tom ammo. That's enough for 9 shots. It's not nearly as much as I need. Oh, LBX autocannons. Take the mech. Let's see, we also got 4 parts of the Rakshasa because the game is teasing me like you wouldn't believe. We did not get the ammunition that I wanted. We also got 13 useless heat sinks. But getting those Rakshasa parts means we will be able to basically sell them in order to mostly save our company cash. So, unless there's a Rakshasa part in the shop, in which case I'm going to be sorely tempted to take it. Just because, you know, it's a Rakshasa and it's hilarious. But a built-in XL engine is a little bit of a hard sell on that one. Didn't get the fusion core that I wanted. I was hoping for that 375, but it did not end up happening. I'm not sure who has it. It might be the Axeman who has a 375 rated fusion core, but I don't really think that's the case. The 300 would probably make a little bit more sense, but if I can get a bigger core, I should put into it because you want to make your melee mechs as fast as possible. So, a little bit of Barak and Tortuga action going on, stealing stuff from Steiner and Davian. 30,000 for the next 4 days, so that's pretty decent. Unless another mission has popped up that is going to be fantastic, I will probably leave after this so that I can go head off to different missions and more dangerous locations. So how bad is it? The catapult... Oh, it's a 1-day repair on everybody who got actually dented. The Mackie is 6 days away. Lovely. Send me to my Mega Pay. Storage. Hi. Actually, no. Let's go to the store first. See if there's actually a... See if there's a Rakshasa part. We have to be clever about this. Although MDG? Whatever. Faction Shop. Please talk to me, Faction Shop. Magcat 2B and an Owens. Don't care. How about ballistic equipment? Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh, I already have 2 of them. I don't need more. But I'd like it. More plasma. I have been stockpiling plasma. I have 7 rifles at this point. There's some really good gear in the faction shop today. Some really good gear. I'm just a little bit disappointed that I'm not gonna... that long time I made it. No good fusion cores is unfortunate. And Clan Pharaoh is so tempting, but so expensive. Heat dissipating armor. Minus 10% weapon heat generation. That's pretty cool. But it does weigh quite a bit. Alright, since we're not getting any of that, let's head on over to our mech bay so we can take a look at our brand new Axeman. Because this will probably end up being a mech that we keep. First of all, we get it for free. So ready it up. The Varillo manufactured 3S introduced in 3057 removes the XL engine of the 1N and 2N variants and replaces it with a light fusion engine. This exclusively Lyran variant of the Axeman is armed with a massive LBX autocannon 20, which allows it to fire either solid rounds or cluster rounds that act like a mech-sized shotgun. The mech also carries 3 ER medium lasers for close combat and a Guardian ECM suite which defends against enemy electronic warfare equipment. So, the best version of it because of the light engine. If the light engine survives, which I don't think that it did. But hey, we gotta take a look. Please have survived? I'm 90% positive that it didn't. Yeah, the center torso got cored out. She was cored. All of this stuff survived off of it, just none of the engine. Now, I can replace that engine. I do have the parts for it. Just don't know if I want to. Can also replace all the ammunition. The jump jets are reasonable. But a 260 rate of fusion core? Really? That seems really light to me. Okay, so you're going to need at least 2 more tons of ammo. Okay, you were a little bit overtonned in terms of ammunition. You only have the 1 support slot, so where is that support slot? It's in a shoulder, so I can't put an accident to it. That's a little disappointing, not gonna lie. Unless I can just, mount them wherever I want. Oh yeah, it's a hand actuator, isn't it? Hatchet is a hand actuator, which it doesn't have. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Would have been really cool to have, but dual wielding hatchets, that would have been really, really fun. So yeah, this will be our next melee mech. I don't know what to do about certain things on it though. So my main problem is I just put the spiked fist inside the screamer, but if I'm going to put them into this thing, then I need to really consider other things. Spiked armor obviously is a must. That'll increase your damage by plus 40% armor weight, minus 50% damage, reduced melee damage taken, with a plus 20% melee damage, but you lose some speed, which means we're going to need to put it in a fairly decently sized fusion core. I'm thinking the 300 class, but if I can put it in a 360, let's go see. Movement would be 11.6, a 340 would be 10.6, and a 300 would be 5.9. It is 5.9, okay. The 3.6 rated fusion core would be really heavy, which means it has to come with an engine, of course. I could put it in the Clan XL. Even that wouldn't be enough. I would have to reduce a couple of other things. Although if I'm going full melee mech, then this is completely uninteresting to me. As is this, and this, and this. Take that out. I do want to keep the Guardian in, of course. Guardian is very important. Can I get away with a light? Kind of, not really. Because I want armor. I want a lot of armor. So if I were to do this, and that, and then come over to the equipment, and I would need a mask for additional speed. I don't have a supercharger, otherwise I would throw that in there as well. I still don't think I have a supercharger. It doesn't really need a probe for increased range on those things. Got 2.2 tons, which is enough to throw his lasers back in. Almost got 3 tons. Yeah, just a little bit of trimming from the back. Gives me all 3 of my medium lasers back. This would obviously not be the build. Like, this is funny, but it's not the build that we would do. First of all, 360 rate of fusion core is too huge for this. It'd be great. It'd be really fun, but I don't think I can manage that. Throw on a 340 instead. Gives me 3 more tons. That gives me just enough weight to throw in a plasma rifle if I want it. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some serious thinking to see what I want to do about the Axeman. Ooh. That was not supposed to be a thing. So the Axeman could be a lot of fun. There's a lot of things we could do with it in order to make it, really dangerous. Apparently it does not move. Huh. I wonder why. There's a lot of things we could do to make it really dangerous. The fact that it has an axe already built into it is kind of important as to what we can do to that. And I really want to make something special out of it. It's a shame the Rakshasa is an XL engine. It's also a shame we didn't get the whole thing. But that'll give us a decent amount of cash. So, yeah, 3.6 million C-bills. That'll be enough to travel on. It has enough to do stuff. We'll also have enough money to build something. However, we do need to get a fairly decent amount of cash in order to construct the Kraken, which will be ready in 27 days according to this, but that's not quite accurate. Show me the actual. So 17 days for the Kraken, 6 days for the Mackie once they actually get into the repair queue, which they should in about 2 days. So we're looking at 8 to 10 days before the Mackey's done. Kraken will be ready possibly by the end of the month to be built. We're not, I don't think I actually put any parts into the Kraken. So, but yeah, we still don't have any long time ammunition, which is kind of sucky because I really wanted to have some. But getting the Axeman, I think, kind of took the cake on that one. Probably gonna keep it. Like I can't imagine. Well, I could sell the Pulsapole for a little bit of extra cash, or the Catapulse, as someone has preferred to having it named. Which I suppose, yeah, that is probably a better name. It has a decent number of energy hard points. Like a really decent number of energy hard points. Unfortunately, flamers don't fire in melee. He's only got one support hard point, which I suppose you would want to mount an AMS onto, but I really kind of would like to put a nice big gun on it. Like a snub-nosed PPZ or something like that, because if you've got one pirate snub left, we could have some fun with. I'm going to have to do some serious thinking about it, but with that, that'll do it for today's episode. I have been Tarek. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I post one of these videos, press the little bell icon, leave a comment, and make sure you join us for our streams on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, where we play RogueTech, on Friday at 4 o'clock, where we play MechWarrior 5, or Saturday at 4 o'clock, where we play RogueTech once again, Apollo's Vipers, which is a clan start of this, and the MechWarrior 5 game is Lego's Legion, which has been kicking butt with its multiple atlases, and, well, we have King Crab, and we got our first Orion 1P. So, very much looking forward to being able to bring that out, the first use of Gauss rifles, but probably going to use the King Crab first, because, you know, twin burst fire AC-20s is going to be a lot of fun. And I will see you all in the next episode.